Hello everybody, it is now Night is Brony time, and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. When we last left off, we completed our second investigation, and we made a shocking discovery of the bloody handprint of one Detective Marshall. Which, why was that there? I mean, it made sense for Gumshoe's handprint to be there, but Jake Marshall shouldn't have been in the evidence room. So, what happened there? But now we're getting back into the case, and then, well, into the trial. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in two different places at the same... Sorry. The victim was murdered in two different places... Oh, it's Lana, okay. The victim was murdered in two different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? As Mr. Wright suspects, the police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't see capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Skye. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall. We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Sorry. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible. What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow. This is one messed-up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I'll present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In doing so, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. That's what set Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. That's supposed to be an admirable trait? Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? No, that's not what he means, Judge. Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Meekett, sir. My occupation is... That would be murderer, sir. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. God, this voice is gonna kill me. I'd never kill anyone again. Sir, you got to believe me, sir. Actually, what we like to... Sir, I'm what you would call a part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to the guard at evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I'm sorry, I can't do the other voice. It's gonna kill me. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Oh my god, this is getting weird. I fought for my life. Then I did it. I did it. After that, I passed out till another officer smacked me awake. So, the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto us before they do unto you. That's the Mika's family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Which means press everything! Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes, now that's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. A lovely police mascot created by the Chief Detective, sir. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, we were so many people running around. Then I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID numbers should be listed on here, too, right? There it is! I found it! This is the one right here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 49 89 59 6. That's my number, sir. I see. Huh. The number 49 89 59 6 is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went in to get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during the second time when... Yes, sir. That is when I spotted the man on the security screen. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. What exactly did you mean by when you say you did it? I know I don't look like a type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. That man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched the knife from him. You took his knife? I spun around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes, too. See. Must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his coat was drenched in the sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew, yes, he punched me right in my face, sir. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins. With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief delivered it? What is that, a videotape? Back in the time of VHSs. Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. You can take footage from the security camera in the evidence room. Objection! What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. I was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. It's like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well, then let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using the word murdered, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Here it is, guys. Kill me now, not this stupid video. Interesting. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the Criminal Affairs Department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Well, I'm not surprised this isn't going smoothly. Yes, well, anyway. The tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone. In the evidence, Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness' testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must have been him. No one else could have unlocked it. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. But everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust this knife into my body, sir. Mount State can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check out the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? The contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction. Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. You would want me to point it out. Very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. It's the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. There's a contradiction that indicates there's something wrong. Take that! The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand, the locker apparatus works like this. Why are we playing this music? Oh my god! When you grab a handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint if it's a match. The light turns on and the lock is released. I love how there's a picture of Maggie in there. Kind of this game, like, hints at so many things in the next game. It's crazy. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. The victim reaches for the handle to open the locker. Let's rewind to a little earlier. Here, notice the light? Watch this! It's already lit! Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Order! What is the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something jam the sensor? Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked on the game. Please stop skipping dialogue automatically, it's really freaking annoying. Especially when this game doesn't have a log. Oh shit, we can't vote.
Take that!
Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Thank you for, like, not playing the stupid music now. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers a lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, insulator, but at the crime scene. It just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this all figured out. Very well. The defense, please present the relevant evidence. What was this insulator that was stuck in a locker door?
Take that!
I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove, but we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. There's a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that is the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is that not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir. Order, order, order! So we ought to believe them, then, that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman. Do not be misled, John. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. So, sir, sir. I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. There's one thing that proves the man was a Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The day used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID card. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transfer. Why were there so few people using the room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There are only a few cases up for transfer there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report it's only half completed, but it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order, order! So now what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order, order, order! Does the prosecution have a response? I've only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, you must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is, well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video was a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot, at the prosecutor's office, the murder being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence room is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Ah! I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered, and where did the person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... But I do. I was supposed to get myself out of this mess. Bluff your way out, like you always do. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not, but I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. This court will examine this further. Other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. You're not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify. What is his or her name?
Take that!
Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? Can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. The prosecution please prepare the witness during this time. We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. Seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Would you trust me? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making the detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, Lana Sky is apparently a pirate now. Going back to freaking special case of dual destiny. I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never seen in a million years, but I thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident. But Lana, I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? My name is in there? I don't know. Unless, no, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that? That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark? What is this, a Donnie Darko reference? No, Lana. That's over with. No! Emma, wait! She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Plan to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at this file. There we go. That's why I kept going a little over time. I had a feeling we were near the end of this half of the trial, but would you like to save your progress? Yes, don't fucking... Alright, but we do have to end it right here. So yeah, there you have it, folks. The court will now convene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I just read the first line. That's ADHD for you folks. I literally was like, alright, episode's over, and then I immediately go. Alright, thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Brony Time for more content, especially more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney and my ADHD shenanigans. Also, please make sure to share this video far and wide so everyone can see me look like an idiot. And I will see you all next time.